Days after the Tema Development Corporation undertook a demolition exercise at Ajekojo in the Straha East part of Tema, another major demolition is planned this time in Ajenkotoku in the Ga West municipality of the Greater Accra region.
Now that government is ready to compensate, it means that government is also ready to develop the project. The problem now is that within all this period, whilst government has acquired this, waiting to compensate them, they also, within themselves, started selling the land.
My name is Bright Nanamfo, and thanks so much for staying there for today's big story on Joy News on Multi TV. Municipal Chief Executive for Ga West Municipality of the Greater Accra region, Sam Atukwe, explains the rationale for the impending exercise. Now we'll get you more on what the MCE said, but days after TDC had embarked on that exercise, the Ajenkotoku area of the Ga West municipality is also expected to see some demolition. Several houses have been earmarked for demolition exercise. The MCE explained the rationale for that exercise.
Now that government is ready to compensate, it means that government is also ready to develop the project. The problem now is that within all this period, whilst government has acquired this, waiting to compensate them, they also, within themselves, started selling the land. The land in question belongs to some families, and those ones are ascertainable. So we'll deal with them. So their best bet is that those that they pay the money to, they should also go to them and tell them that, look, this is what we have been told. So we pay the money to you. So you to give us our money because government has given us proof that they have acquired the land. Are you getting the picture? So they understood these processes and they requested that I should give them a little more time to organize themselves and leave this morning. This is the picture of the entire thing. So I don't see how, as chief executive, I can only empathize with them and find a way for them not to lose everything. So I told them, look, if they write a letter, I am ready as chief executive to also add a letter and then tell the minister that, look, yes, we want to compensate them, but we want these people to give us guarantee. If you bring proof that you paid money and they gave you a receipt and you have the receipt, okay, then we'll make sure that as the money goes to them, they also pay them. But we are not obliged by law, but on humanitarian ground. Are you getting the picture? And then I'm also ready, they should call the chief and invite me, the chief executive, to be there so that he doesn't lie to them. Are you getting me? I am ready. When they organize the chief, I'll come and also be part of them so that because when we met last week, we indicated to all the family, now that we have agreed here, go and meet the community. Tell them what is going to happen. If you know you've taken money from people, assure them that, look, the project is now taking off. When we receive our money, we also compensate you. The chief lives at Dansoman. He doesn't go to Kotoku. He has boys, land guards there who look after the lands for him. So he wants to take the money and stay in Kotoku. Even his own youth, they also came that they also want some of the money. So they'll write a letter to me. So that the money doesn't go to his individual account. My brother, last month I did a story with Joy too. This same chief, we bought a land from the chief, 25 acres, 22 acres of land. When we bought the land with him, we want to use the land for kraal and abattoir. As soon as he took the money, then he quickly also sold the land to estate developers. As I speak to you, the matter, since 2007, they've tried to resolve the issue. When I came, I've taken the matter to court. This same chief.
Sam Atukwe is the MC for Ga West, warning or hinting of a demolition expected somewhere next week. Now, the aggrieved residents of the area are not happy at all. They are frustrated and they share the apprehension about the impending demolition exercise, which is expected to happen any moment now.
of understanding was signed between the individuals and the Ghana Water Resources, Works and Housing, that they will compensate the individuals. Ever since 2011, they haven't paid anybody. Meanwhile, they told us the memorandum of understanding they would have compensated us before the project is completed. But ever since, nothing of that sort has happened. Few of us took the matter to the law court. Ever since we've been going to the court, the government lawyer disagreed. He never came to the law court. As a result, last Friday we were also in court, and the judge said he's going to serve them a new notice upon which they are going to pass a judgment if they still refuse to appear. That is what we are handling now, and only to realize that the new place that we have acquired, the government is coming to acquire it again.
Yesterday we were just around, and then a group came from Amasama District Assembly, led by the Chief Executive of Amasama, claiming that all the lands around here belongs to the government. Meanwhile, before we purchased this land, we actually went and did our search, and the search shows that the land does not belong to the government. The search shows that the land does not belong to the government. But now they are claiming that all the lands around here belongs to the government, and from next week they are coming to demolish all our houses around here. We want the president to hear about this, that we Ghanaians who voted him on power, and on top of that, paying him out of our tax. Now they are trying to tell us that they can rob us from our own privileges. A land that I have bought with my own money, with my own sweat, with loan from the bank. Now they want to take it from me.
Residents there not really happy about a demolition exercise planned for next week in the Ga West municipality of the Greater Accra region. Eric Curtis Howard was there earlier in the day. He will tell us what exactly is happening there. Eric, the issue is that you met residents agitating over what they've been told about the demolition exercise.
Yes. When we went there, the first thing our residents told us was that they just came last week. The assembly just came last week, and they came to put the inscriptions on their walls.
On their walls.
That removed building to be demolished. And that was just a notice they were given. And what they know is that the assembly is telling them by next week, Friday, the
exercise will start.
It will start. And they even gave us the indication that it's likely to start on Monday. And obviously, when we entered the community, we just met the residents already. They're going for a sort of a meeting. And they just chanced upon us, and they just used the opportunity to pour their frustrations and everything. And
how many houses, from your estimation, will be pulled down if the assembly goes ahead to implement this decision?
Okay, it's a 232-acre land, and so all those lands have been bought and by residents where they have put up structure. So we are looking at about 300 to 400 structures, houses. Some have been completed, others are springing up, and so just about 300 to 400 structures. That's what residents tell us.
About 300 structures, between 300 and 400.
Yeah.
And these are middle-income earners, or those at the upper level, or those down there?
It's every class of residents, you see. We saw one guy called Mumuni. He also was complaining bitterly that he sacrificed all his life savings to get some plots of lands there. He's managed to put up a structure, and all he gets to hear is that the structure is going to be demolished. One thing that residents were very particular about, they don't want compensation from government.
Right.
They just want government to leave their houses from them. You get me? Because for them, they feel they are sweated. They've got a good place, a good area. When you enter Ajin Kotuku, unlike other communities in the Ga West District, the roads are tarred. It's a very nice, the roads link perfectly.
Eric, just a second. We're showing you pictures of those buildings that are expected to be pulled down with the inscriptions. Please, let's show the pictures. Those buildings are expected to be pulled down, and you can see residents agitating. And according to Eric Curtis, they are not interested in compensation. All they want to do is to live there. So they're not interested in compensation because they think that they rightfully own the land.
Yes. That's their claim, that they rightfully own the land. And also, going into the community, you will love the place because of the tarred rules, the tarred nature of the rules, and the serene atmosphere and everything. So they found a home. You get me? So
right.
it makes it difficult to relocate to another place. That's the major challenge. But I spoke to the district chief executive, like you showed there, and he brought a map.
I want us to.
Okay.
We'll get to the MCE, but what I want to know is now these residents, when you interacted with them, well, you could not determine if the document they showed you were genuine, but at least they showed you documents.
They showed us documents. They showed us documents. They brought documents to show us that they had acquired the land legally. Others said they've gone to the Lands Commission to actually do their checks, their double checks, and they were sure, and every information they got from the Lands Commission indicates that the land sold to them by the chiefs were indeed genuine lands. So they've acquired.
And the chiefs were the owners.
The chiefs were the owners of the land, and they acquired the land genuinely.
And these chiefs, the municipal chief executive was mentioning a particular chief.
Yes.
Are these chiefs owners of the land?
Okay,
there's no litigation on the land.
What the MC told us, there were 3 chiefs claiming ownership to the land, but he had a meeting with the chiefs in his office, and 2 of them owned up and said one Ni Otu Amako something was the owner of the land. The 2 chiefs owned up, but that chief that owned up, who said he was the owner of the land, that the other 2 chiefs conceded to was the owner of the land, also said he had some issues, some family issues that needed to be resolved. So the issue is dicey, and what the information I picked up was that the chief does not stay in the community. He lives at Dansuman, but because of the issues with the land and everything, he cannot come to the community. But he has people
who are there deputizing for him to take care of
they
are his agents.
They are his agents,
and they sold the land to those who are living there.
Yes,
and give them documents.
And give them the documents.
Let's find this out now. The area is under the West Municipal, and before you put up a structure, you need to get a permit from them.
Yes.
Now, the document that they showed you, did it include permit from the assembly?
Okay. With the information I got was that from the MC was that all the documents that the residents were indentures. They did not. Most of them did not have land title document, and 90%.
So they don't have permit from the assembly.
Yeah, they don't have permit. And he said 90% of residents, homeowners in the district, in the municipality, did not have building permits to put up buildings there. So which means that the assembly have the right to go and demolish all those structures.
Let's talk about what the MCU told you. Now, first of all, what did he say about that parcel of land? Who does it belong to?
He said the land belongs to government. The government acquired the land sometime in 2004 to use for a commercial trading hub. You know, they're going to relocate residents from Agbogbloshie and the Central Business District and also Sodom and Gomorrah to Ajen Kotoku. You know, they want to convert the place into a big business center.
Right.
Where there will be yam sellers, there will be an abattoir, there will be a crawl, there will be a market center. So instead of goods moving all the way to Accra, the Ajen Kotoku will be the hub,
kind of a center.
A kind of a center where you just, the goods will be put there. Then from there, the retailers could take the goods from there and move to Accra. So it's like from the north, you will stop at Ajen Kotoku.
Those from Bona have for the Ashanti region, Eastern region, and the 3 northern regions will all go there.
Yeah, Ajen Kotoku. Then that will be the center. Then from there, they will take the rest of the items. Maybe you buy it on your last scale. You want to come and sell at the Kaneshi market. Then you bring it to the town. So it wouldn't be like there will be congestion in the Central Business District. He said it's part of efforts to reduce the congestion. So that's the land.
And did he tell you when this particular parcel of land was acquired?
He made us understand that somewhere in 2000, during the Kufuor administration, that's when the land was acquired and everything for the project to start. And actually, they've started some work on the land. They've actually constructed a police station. They've constructed a market. There's a market that has been constructed there. They've constructed a school because they reckon that when the people come there, they will need a need for children to go to school. There's also a clinic as well. And the MC told us that they're trying to construct a bank around so that it will enhance business activities in the area. But you know, those structures was constructed 2011 and it's 3 years now and they've not been used. And the structures are rotting away, you know, especially with the school. You realize that some louver blades are broken, some walls, there are cracks on the walls and weeds have overtaken the place. So the structures are lying fallow. And the MC said that it's an indictment on the assembly that a structure that has been built with a taxpayer's money is still lying there and without being used. So they want to take the structures, they want to put the structures to use. So beginning February 28th this month, they will start work on the project.
That is beginning of February.
February 28th. After
Right.
the demolition will end by February 28th.
Okay.
Then from February 28th.
We're not sure when it's going to start.
Yeah, he will not tell us the date when it's actually, because he said it might cause some security.
So
but
they
he made
want
us
to take
to take them by surprise.
residents by surprise.
Yeah, but he made us understand that when they are going to demolish, Joy News obviously will be there to get them.
Did he tell you? Did he also tell you when that particular decision was taken to pull down structures on that parcel, and that who took that decision?
Yeah, the assembly took that decision according to him, because the assembly had a meeting and they realized that the buildings that have been built there, the markets, was rotting away. As in, the place was not being used. That was in 2011. It's been 3 years now. So there was the need to put that building to use.
Right.
So that decision was taken by the assembly. Let's go out there, let's reclaim the lands, and let's start the project that government wants to do with this land. He told that the president also called him and told him that the MC is new in office. He was just appointed not too long ago. So he said that during his appointment, he was told by the president that he should make sure that that project comes on.
And funding and all ready for that particular project.
He even made statement that the Ministry of Finance have released monies for those who had genuine documents on the land to be compensated. So they've released the monies for the project to start is ready. Everything is ready. All they need to do now is to go ahead with the demolition. Those that needs to be compensated, they'll compensate them, then they'll carry out with the work.
Recording here, let me quickly play you more sound bites of these frustrated residents. Now, according to them, like Eric said, just about a week or so, these marks were made on their buildings. They were asked to relocate. Let me play you how frustrated these residents are.
A memorandum of understanding was signed between the individuals and the Ghana Water Resources, Works and Housing that they will compensate the individuals. Ever since 2011, they haven't paid anybody. Meanwhile, they told us the memorandum of understanding they would have compensated us before the project is completed. But ever since, nothing of that sort has happened. Few of us took the matter to the law court. Ever since we've been going to the court, the government lawyer disagreed. He never came to the law court. As a result, last Friday we were also in court, and the judge said he's going to serve them a new notice upon which they are going to pass a judgment if they still refuse to appear. That is what we are handling now. And only to realize that the new place that we have acquired, the government is coming to acquire it again.
Yesterday, we were just around, and then a group came from Amasama District Assembly, led by the chief executive of Amasama, claiming that all the lands around here belongs to the government. Meanwhile, before we purchased this land, we actually went and did our search, and the search shows that the land does not belong to the government. The search shows that the land does not belong to the government. But now they are claiming that all the lands around here belongs to the government, and from next week they are coming to demolish all our houses around here. We want the president to hear about this, that we Ghanaians who voted him on power, and on top of that, paying him out of our tax. Now they are trying to tell us that they can rob us from our own privileges. A land that I have bought with my own money, with my own sweat, with loan from the bank. Now they want to take it from me.
The municipal chief executive, Sam Atukwe, is trying hard to explain why government will have to go in and take over the parcel of land and put in place a project that has been earmarked for the area. Let's listen to him.
Now that government is ready to compensate, it means that government is also ready to develop the project. The problem now is that within all this period, whilst government has acquired this, waiting to compensate them, they also, within themselves, started selling the land. The land in question belongs to some families, and those ones they are ascertainable. So we'll deal with them. So their best bet is that those that they pay the money to, they should also go to them and tell them that, look, this is what we have been told. So we pay the money to you. So you to give us our money because government has given us proof that they have acquired the land. Are you getting the picture? So they understood these processes and they requested that I should give them a little more time to organize themselves and leave this morning. This is the picture of the entire thing. So I don't see how, as chief executive, I can only empathize with them and find a way for them not to lose everything. So I told them, look, if they write a letter, I am ready as chief executive to also add a letter and then tell the minister that, look, yes, we want to compensate them, but we want these people to give us guarantee. If you bring proof that you paid money and they gave you receipt, and you have the receipt, okay, then we'll make sure that as the money goes to them, they also pay them. But we are not obliged by law, but on humanitarian ground. Are you getting the picture? And then I'm also ready, they should call the chief and invite me, the chief executive, to be there so that he doesn't lie to them. Are you getting me? I am ready. When they organize the chief, I'll come and also be part of them so that because when we met last week, we indicated to all the family. Now that we have agreed here, go and meet the community. Tell them what is going to happen. If you know you've taken money from people, assure them that, look, the project is now taking off. When we receive our money, we also compensate you. The chief lives at Dansoman. He doesn't go to Kotoku. He has boys, land guards there who look after the lands for him. So he wants to take the money and stay in Kotoku. Even his own youth, they also came that they also want some of the money. So they will write a letter to me so that the money doesn't go to his individual account. My brother, last month I did a story with Joy too. This same chief, we bought a land from the chief, 25 acres, 22 acres of land. When we bought the land with him, we want to use the land for kraal and abattoir. As soon as he took the money, then he quickly also sold the land to estate developers. As I speak to you, the matter, since 2007, they've tried to resolve the issue. When I came, I've taken the matter to court. This same chief.
The MC is ready to empathize with the people. But Eric, what are residents thinking of doing? Now, the MC says they're ready to perhaps compensate those who have genuine documents.
Yeah. Speaking to residents this afternoon and looking at the agitated, obviously they're agitated. What they said was that should the assembly make any attempt to demolish their structures, they will not sit down to watch what happened at Ajay Kojo to happen, because they were all referring to it. They will not sit down to whether they will resist that attempt, and that's how far they say they will go. They will make sure they resist that particular attempt by the assembly to pull down their structures. And
are they prepared to show the assembly their documents of ownership?
Yes, right. Looking at the situation now, every resident that bought a land is now looking for every document that he or she has, going to put it down. And right now, they want to go into a form of a dialogue. Tomorrow, what I do know is that they're going to be having an emergency meeting in the morning. Right. They will come out with the necessary framework as to what to do next and what not to do next. And they will send a petition to the assembly on Monday. During that meeting, they will come out with certain criteria, what they must do, and they'll send it. So they believe that if the assembly does not heed to their demands, based on what they have proposed in the document, then they will take the laws into their own hands.
But they are not prepared to relocate?
No, they are not.
Not even when government decides that we are taking it to another parcel of land?
Well, that's what they are saying for now. They are not prepared to relocate, and they can't invest such huge sums of money in their buildings, and you just come and tell them to relocate. Relocate where? That's the question they asked.
Eric Curtis Howard has just returned from Ajay Kotoku in the Ga West municipality of the Greater Accra region. Thanks so much. We'll be getting you more on this particular development later on at 8 o'clock. But this is wrapping up the first part of the show. Right after Ajay Kojo, there is Ajay Kotoku. You will get it live right here on Joy News. Well, thank you so much for staying there for the first part. Gladys is joining me in a while for the interactive segment. Stay there. I'm coming back.
You're welcome to JN Interactive. You can join this conversation via our social media platforms. The first one is facebook.com/joynews on TV. You could also send us Twitter on twitter.com/joynews on TV. The handles are @joynews on TV or #JN Interactive. Email us via joynewsim@multitvworld.com, and let's get interactive right here on Joy News. So what's the issue today? The Aguna East District of the Central Region continue to record high teenage pregnancies despite several interventions. Joy News' checks indicate school dropout is high, especially among girls between the ages of 12 and 16 due to teenage pregnancy. Most of these teen mothers could not even tell the reason for getting pregnant. While some drop out of school when pregnant, others continue but have to go home intermittently to breastfeed their children. What is most worrying, according to the headmaster of the Nsaba Methodist Primary, AB, Samuel Saki, is that these teen girls are normally impregnated by the male counterparts of their age. And health officials are equally worried teen mothers do not get prenatal care, which can lead to health challenges. The district is actually said to be amongst the most deprived in the region, with the main occupation being farming and petty trading. Is this good enough reason for the high record of teenage pregnancies? Well, my colleague Georgina Appiah, who also is a Central Regional correspondent, has been following the story, and she joins us via Skype from the Central Region, Cape Coast, and she's going to actually be asking her. Georgina, good evening and thanks for joining us. Tell us, how serious is this situation in Aguna District?
It's very serious. If you've watched the video, you can tell it's very, very serious. You see children between the ages of 12 and 16 getting pregnant, and you ask yourself, how can these children even cater for themselves? And let alone their children.
We seem to be having a bit of a challenge with internet connection, but we'll get through to Georgina once again and really talk to her about it. We'd definitely like to have an update on the situation, but we have also been talking to some officials in the Aguna district. Let's hear what they have been talking about.
Day in, day out, you come out or you see one or two of the pupils becoming pregnant. And what is very pathetic is that these pregnancies come as a result of pupils among them, pupils within the same classroom. Just now, there were two girls coming there. Yeah, one of them was one. She went to feed the child and she has returned. After the girl had gotten pregnant, as for the boy, he can still continue his education, but at times it is the girls who have dropped out, so we continue to educate them.
It's around 17% since 2010, but this year we realized that we recorded 16%, indicating a drop, but that is not enough. The rate is still high, so we just want to encourage our service providers who are into adolescent health service, together with the community members who are helping us, to intensify all the programs that we have, the services we have concerning adolescents, to be able to bring it further down. One, we have our facilities designated as adolescent-friendly health facilities. That means we welcome more adolescents and we make sure we take them through counseling for them to know what their body is and what they can do to prevent such things.
Pretty worrying. Well, we also have some parents from the district expressing their sentiments.
I mean, say me back was at the end of my young fe. Intim baby, me 15 years, me who saw on the boy being on what you want to. boy no man what's my bonny me say me bonny just say me ba no ho ban me boy ba ko be 18 no 18 years no ko fa boy ko fa girl no ko fa no so 12 years me so me fie ne mo chika ka be me ba no tene be am so me tie mo twe me nua be ne ba me nyu bu wan kan kire ma de me tie ne say what's girl ne nyem no wade girl ne bre ma hwe no ma waawo we ne ba no wanya afi ne busu afa be fa ne ko
kanka ba Atani ya wasudi ama ye mbofra mba ne say ye mbofra mba ne de ye nda achi te o say ye hwe ne tete ye mbofra ne ye ma wa futupa na nkyerɛkyerɛ pa ma nkɔfa nsunsuanbɔ no bia mbra nti ɔbaatan bia wo sɛ wo sɛ wo ba ne wo daakye nti wo sɛ wo tu no fuma sa afra ne ya ba wo kusua a wo kyerɛkyerɛ no sɛ kwan ɔbɛfa so ɔbɛbɔ no ho ban efi pɛ wɔ yinsen ho ma na de sua ahia no nti no ayɛ ade sɛ yɛbɛfrɛ kuroma ne nyinaa yɛbɛbɔ de wura afra wo fam na yɛkɔ school sisi etutu mmɔfra no fo ɛne teacher fo no ɛno yɛ nkutahudi ɛne time grandma no yɛkyerɛkyerɛ mo sɛ ne wobɛsɛ ɔbɛbɔ wɔn ban efi pɛ wɔ yinsen ho.
Well, we cross over to again to our Central Regional correspondent, Georgina Appiah, who has been following the story and continue our conversation. Hello, Georgina.
Hello,
so
do you hear me?
now we hear you. We left off at when you were telling us how serious the situation is in the Aguna district.
Yeah, like you saw the videos. Children between the ages of 12 and 16 years are giving birth, you know, most of them still pregnant. And the district director of health, that's Nancy, told me that actually the ages are between 10 and 14, but those I spoke to were between 12 and 16. So you can see how serious the situation is in the district. This study was actually in Aguna in Sabah, that's the district capital of Aguna East district in the central region.
Okay.
So if this is the district capital and things are getting pregnant like this, you can tell hinterland. It's very serious.
Too high, yes. But let me also find out what kind of measures are the authorities putting in place to curb this menace?
Well, they say they have actually the health authorities were saying they've designated their health centers as adolescent friendly so that they can educate the adolescents. They want to be free with them so that they can educate them. And the school authorities too were telling me that they normally educate them on sex, but it's really serious. If they do educate them on sex and they are still getting pregnant, then it means something is really, really wrong somewhere.
Georgina, you have been there, so you saw the situation. How is this sex education done by the school? That how is it really done that the situation keeps increasing like that?
Well, you know, I've not been there for quite a long time.
Okay.
I was there just to acquaint myself with the situation. So this education that I'm telling you, they told me that the school authorities and the health authorities told me that this is what they are trying to do to arrest the situation.
I see. But your interaction with the students, did it also come out that they know the use of contraceptives?
No. I actually didn't ask the use of contraceptives, but you can tell that they don't protect themselves. That's how come they find themselves in this situation. But one would ask, that's what at all will a girl of 12 years, 10 years looking for? What is she looking for? That's she will go in for sex to get pregnant at this age. That's you are being catered for by someone. How are you going to cater for your child? This is the problem I'm still working on.
It is a problem indeed. Georgina, thank you very much for joining us and telling us about how serious the situation is and how much the pupils there know about contraception, sex education and all that. 12 to 16 years, they are very sexually active. Parents, let's see what we can do to help our children between those ages to prevent some of these issues happening. Nana Ansakwao, the 4th Chief of Edumasa in the Eastern region, also joins us to share how he has been able to successfully record a low rate of teenage pregnancies in his community. Hello, Nana, are you there for us? Okay, so a few challenges still with our technology, but let's quickly take some WhatsApp messages, what you have been saying about this issue on WhatsApp, and whilst we also try to get through to Nana to share some of his success stories. Abdul Fongo says, I think they need education on the effects of this unprecedented act. It could also be as a result of those fake condoms imported into the country. Nanaya Alberi Malabi says, we must carry general education, especially our religious bodies, Sunday schools, youth activities, etc. Parents must stay united and keep eyes on their children, Ghana's future. Yeah, children who are Ghana's future. Well, so that's also from Nanaya Alberi Malabi. Abisik Justin says, parents should be responsible for the upbringing of their children, and also those unshameful men should be castrated. Justin, unfortunately, these are not men. They are their fellow boys. They stay in the same classrooms with them, and they go into that extracurricular activity. Bonti Benjamin says, it's all because of hardship and uncaring parenthood. Let's make the children our priority. So if you're a child and you need to seek pleasure, that's how you see it. Well, Kofi Malba says, irresponsible parenting, poverty and love for material things accounts for this social problem. How much does that schoolboy have? A fellow 16-year-old classmate, how much money does he have? Felix Minta says, I think it's all about lack of effective parental care and control from parents and stakeholders of their lives. Thank you. That's coming from Felix Minta. Good point there. Bernard Kobner says, oh, Ghana, we need to educate our children. Well, that's coming from Bernard Kobner. Let's see who, let me just take two more. David Undercover Kumsen says, there should be committee volunteers to serve as watchdog to the community. So you propose for a watchdog community. How are they going to be entering? Well, maybe they have it under trees. Lanyan Jonathan says parents in that district should be vigilant as they can stop such acts by various means, both the boys and girls. I think evangelism should be another tool to base in order to help reduce such. Okay. Lanyan Jonathan, thank you. Let's see my last one on WhatsApp. Kweku Opare Anoba says parents should teach their kids sex education, know their friends, invite them home and befriend them as well. All the work should not be done by teachers. All right, so that's my last from Kweku. That's from Kweku Opare Anoba. Thank you very much for your contributions via WhatsApp. Let's also quickly get to the streets and see what some of you who spoke to our cameras, how you shared your opinions on this topic.
I think they should educate kids more on the essence of going to school, because the child doesn't know the essence of going to school. That is why most times teenage pregnancy becomes very high.
The village or that particular area is poverty stricken, and the government must intervene. Their parents must be spoken to, okay, and the children must also be educated enough, because you can't be having children, or you can't at that tender age, have a child and school at the same time. Who will take care of the child?
The solution is God. When the parents, everybody run to God, and especially when a small girl is in around 8, 9, 10 years, when he knows the ways of God, he will know that to even commit fornication is a sin. He will be running from it.
I believe in one thing. If you are teaching a child, you should teach the child a right path to take. And most parents have taken things for granted. For instance, instead of educating the child about the essence of being in school, the child doesn't go to school today. Oh, it's all right because she's not feeling well, so let me leave her. The child doesn't see the essence of being in school. So most time, after going to 1, 2, 3, at least after going to class 6 or JSS 1 or 2, she thinks that, oh, life is just like that. Let me just live my life the way I want.
I think it's because of one issue. Maybe they want to dedicate themselves. That is why even when they've given birth at tender ages and yet they are still going to school. But the common factor may be that it may be because of economic crisis. You see, over there, I'm thinking because of this expatriates coming in, they want to associate themselves with them, get some money for their education or even to cater for their families. Okay, so they do that, and in the course of, mingling with these expatriates, some of them or most of them have gotten pregnant and they've delivered.
The fear of God is not there again. The fear of God is not there. They're not teaching them the ways of God. I to understand how to fear God and take care of their future. They don't give them that orientation. Nobody teach them, tell them the truth. Nobody guide them. When nobody guide them, don't tell them the truth, and things like that can happen.
Well, it's quite unfortunate we can't get through to Nana and Sakwal due to technological challenges. Well, it would have been lovely to hear him share his success story in the Edumasa town. But let's also quickly look at what you have been putting on Facebook. So the comment, the Aguna East District of the Central Region continues to record high teenage pregnancies despite several interventions. Well, so we asked you to share your thoughts on that, how we could prevent that. And George Owusu Jr. says, Abdul Fungo says, I think they need education on the effects of this unprecedented act. It could also be as a result of these fake condoms imported into the country. Let's see. Abdul Kofi Malba says, irresponsible parenting, poverty, and love for material things accounts for this social problem. Keep it short so we can take more. David Undercover Kumsen also says there should be committee volunteers to serve as watchdog to the community. Okay, Osaikojo Patrick says it is a sad news for the district, and if the several interventions are not working, they should adopt new strategies and interventions, and I am optimistic that they will work for the benefit of the district. Parents should also play a major role in reducing this menace if it could be eradicated completely by providing the needs of their children in educating them. Well, Usman Abdul says, I think sex education is the best option and maybe inject them with contraceptives. Okay, that's coming from Usman. Let's see. Joyful Amma says, it's almost the same for where I am. It's pregnancy and abortion among girls in the JHS. We have more baby makers than parents. Whoa, Joyful Amma. Well, that's quite unfortunate in your district. Tell us about where exactly this is and let's follow it up. Wondon, okay, let me just take Ibn Ali, who says the government or parliament should pass a law that any student who becomes pregnant whilst in school be imprisoned for life, whilst government takes care of the children. Well, Kulo, yours is quite a harsh one for the students. Well, I draw the curtains here. Nana has joined me. Nana, that's somebody's suggestion. Life imprisonment for getting pregnant.
Let me share what I have with you here.
Okay,
and,
right.
Let's tell our viewers what to expect at 8 o'clock. The Aguna East District of the Central Region, as she's been telling you, has a lot of teen mothers. At 8 o'clock, we'll tell you what is happening there and what authorities are doing to curb the menace of teenage pregnancy. That's at 8 o'clock.
Well, we also will be telling you something about NPP. Well, the NPP's Director of Election, Martin J. Mensah-Kosa, says the decentralized 2014 National Conference will go ahead despite strong opposition from some party members. Well, so he says the highest decision-making body of the party, the National Executive Committee, made the decision, and until it is reversed by the same body, they are mandated to carry out the elections at various constitutions.
And
constituencies, forgive me.
Exactly. And Ajay Kutuku is in the news, but Ajay Kudu is there, and the issues about prepaid metering is also coming up. And the Parliamentary Senate Committee on Works and Housing has asked the Ghana Water Company Limited to review plans to pilot a new policy aimed at introducing prepaid meters for potable water. At 8 o'clock, you hear more about this. Thanks so much for staying there for us. We have Tarzan's Take coming up right after. My name is Brian Nananfo.
My name is Gladys Osei Oredu. Thank God it's Friday. Enjoy your weekend.